Let's record. Let's record. Guys, I am snacking on pop chips. I know it looks like I opened the bag from the bottom, but I still need a sponsor. Guys, what's going on? What's going on? It's your lovely host. Welcome to another episode, Program with Bags. Today, what are we building? I'm not really sure. I had a really, really long day working, so I just slid right into this. And let's build something. Let's add to the project management system. Keep embellishing greatness, you know? You can't do that too much. Guys, such a bummer. I don't have a wine glass to drink water out of anymore. It was my last wine glass that I just used to celebrate 500 subscribers. And if you didn't see what happened to that wine glass, I recommend you go check my shorts. I recommend by the time this is out, I've recorded it before either of the videos have been released. But by the time both of the videos are released, by the time you hear this message, they should be out. Both this video and that one. So... Yeah. Had a hoot and a holler celebrating 500 subscribers. Guys, I can't believe it. Like, I started this channel thinking if I got 100, it's a wrap. It's an absolute wrap, because if I can get to what I thought, if I can get to 5, I can get to 10. If I can get to 10, I can get to 25. If I can get to 25, I can get to 50, to 100, to 250, and then 500 was like, I think it gets real. I think it gets a smidge more real at that kind of level, I guess. Obviously, there's people with millions, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But if you saw my other short, I had my first hater, so you guys know I'm on a new level. And that's what we like to see. That's what we like to see is progress and growth. Yeah, what should I label this episode? How the turns have tabled. How the turns have tabled. Because they really are tabling. The turns are really tabling right now. So anyway, I'm gonna pop this off screen. Pop open Prisma. Let's see what we're working with. I forgot I have food in the oven as well, so I'm going to have to wrap this up quicker than later. But I just want to make the notes endpoint work. Right now it's just on the front end, just on the DOM working. We're just going to build out some endpoints to make that work, or at least the post endpoint before I burn my food. So that's the goal today. That's the goal right now. That's what we're building now. So we're on a mission. Let's go ahead and do it. So notes.tsx. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to pull in a template. Here we go. Boom. Not sure why I had all this other stuff open. Not important. So what do I need? I don't need Redis. We're going to get that out for right now. Delete this endpoint. This functional, not both of them, just the bottom one, and then I'll redo it. Right, I'll build a new one. Sorry guys, I'm falling apart right now. Whew. I got the hiccups. Let me see, get notes. Let's say post notes. Technically they need to be by user ID. So Now that I think about it, now that I've done the math, I thought about it, I did the calculations, and they need to be by user ID. It's official. So I'm going to pass in do user ID dizzle like that. Do I need the notes anywhere else? In other words, do I need to build a store? Should I build a store? Maybe. Guys, I have used Zoostan, Redux, Pena, and now finally I have used Recoil for state management. And boy, do I love Recoil. I will be honest, it is pretty good. I like it. I like it. So let's crash the, oh, I guess I didn't have to crash the server. Let me see what's going on with my terminal. It was taking a bit. So on one server, I'll just restart the server, and then on the other one, I'm going to npx Prisma generate the contract, make sure the contract's up to date, so we can build notes. So and receive them, of course. So I'll say notes, find many. We need to find them by the user ID, and then of course send the notes. That contract should get updated, I believe. Oh, maybe not. Did I not have the notes by user ID? We need to set that up in the schema. I forgot to do that, but that's okay. I'll get around to it. So I'm going to do prisma.notes, and I believe, right? I believe it's prisma.notes, right? Prisma.notes. Yeah, it looks like that's auto-filling us, or filling out us. That sounds bad. Anyway, I'll say data, and what I need here is the ID of the notes, which is not going to be the user ID. This is going to be a note ID specific to the notes. So I'll say crypto. So we have the crypto package dot random UUID, and that should be a good enough alternative for us. And it needs to be wrapped in a string because it needs to be a string. Data. So we need to pass in the rest of this. So either the notes need to be relative to the project, I need to make that decision, or relative to the users. So in other words, do I, as a personal user, want to, I already answered the question in my brain. I'm going to make them to the project. That makes more sense. So reason being is because, sorry, there's a fly right here, guys. I'm just off the wall right now, right? But reason being I want this to be associated to the project is because if I'm a team member of the project, and team members aren't there yet, but down the road we do want to have team members associated to projects. And if I'm a team member, I should be able to post notes that everybody can see, and every new team member can maybe go back. If I'm like new to a team or new to a project, I can see the old notes and say, okay, well, what's going on here? What's this all about, right? So, decisions final. We need the title. We need the description. What else? It's all going to come from rec.body. Project. What was the project? What was that? Project ID. What was the project? Let me pull it off screen. Sorry, guys. Can never be too safe. Project. Why did I need to do the project ID? Was that just to make the compound key? I think so. I think it was. Yeah. Okay, so cool. So now I can include the notes with the projects whenever I ask for that payload. Sweet. Project ID string undefined. Why is it doing that? Why type string is not assignable? Okay, let me pop it back off. I need to go back to Prisma. Because the reason why I pop it off is just so I don't expose any part of myself. So project ID, it doesn't look like it's a array of strings, unless this made it, which that might have, making them unique or something might have done that. So might have made it an array of strings when it should not be that. It should just be a string. In other words, each note posted should only be associated to one project. It's a many to one relationship, or one to many, however you want to think about it. Boom, and there it goes. So this is actually our get notes function, ironically. Or no, forgive me. That is our post notes function. Okay, so sweet. The notes have an ID, project ID. Why is it still doing this type string? It should not come in as an array of strings. It should just be a string of just one node. Who on God's green earth would do that? User ID, perfect, because we're not using the user ID anymore. Forgive me. Boom, project ID. So each one of these notes now, they're going to be posted to a project, saying I belong to this project, or let's say there's two projects that I as a user belong to. When I cycle through, you can see at the top of the screen here that there's a project ID. So when I'm on this project, my first project, and I post a note, the note's going to be boom associated to this project. That's going to be the relationship. And then I could post more notes associated to this project. And then let's say I build a new project over here. When I post notes, it'll still be associated to the project I'm looking at. And then if I cycle through, sorry, there's a goddamn gnat right here. Oh my gosh. You know, things I love and hate about living down in Texas. Down in Texas. Winter's amazing. Gnats and critters. Not so much. But anyway, yeah, fun stories actually. Fun stories about the gnats and critters. There's actually been some big snakes around. There's been some snakes, some tarantulas, some centipedes, like big old tarantulas. It actually made my second vlog. There was just 2 tarantulas I saw on that, and I actually have more footage of more tarantulas. Like they are not uncommon here. You know, like literally my first day moving into this apartment, I saw 2 of them and was like, oh, great, fantastic. Now I don't care. First day I was like, dang, this is what I just signed up 12 months for. Dang. But now I'm like, whatever. But anyway, so off the critters, more about the notes. Yeah, so when and I need to change this to not be user ID here. This needs to be project ID coming from the parameters. So notes need to be associated to projects. Projects are associated to projects. They just exist in the ethos, and then I believe that's roughly how I've set it up. So let's see if we can get this going. What page is this? Tan stack. Oh, was this page? No, this was the tan stack page that we just built the other day. Just pretty cool. Had not been able to get tan stack utilized properly, but this little dummy page was showing me how to do it. So unfortunately, the notes is not going to be the best use for it because it's just kind of like notes. You know, it's just really a post and delete function. I'm not going to have updates. You could just delete the notes. They're sticky notes. You know what I mean? It's how they're going to be looked at. Either that or I won't even let people delete. Just keep them all. But what I could do is pull in this query. Where am I using this query client? Oh, I see. Query client right here for all the mutations. But outside of that, I don't think I really need to. Yeah, looks like I could just pull that in. I don't even need to make a store. Let's just not do it. Yeah, because I don't want to. Problem solved. Any more questions? Because I don't want to. Because I literally do not want to. So this is roughly what the stores need to look like, or the notes need to look like, though, and structure-wise. So let's kind of prep for that. I'll say data. Need to import this use context, guys. A huge thank you too. I just want to mention this to the people who've stuck around and I see people commenting and it's really cool for me that there's people who've probably seen some of this grow. You know, from like even this repository, how it started on like 2 things, and I had no idea what I was going to do for some of the stuff. And I mean, it's all documented, right? Like, like there's 60 episodes of this or 60 plus episodes of this, it's not really hidden material if you call it that. But yeah, no, I'm super grateful because it's cool to have seen it myself grow. Like looking back at the earlier episodes, I'm like, oh, like, gosh, I really did learn a lot. So super fun for me, especially now when I'm doing a little bit of back-end material with my dear friend Chester, and he's just on a whole other level. You know what I mean? When it comes to his domain, it's a whole different ball game. So But the fact I can hang a little pinky toe, you know, is like pretty cool for me. Like, oh no, this is how I would think about the data. How do you want to approach it this way? And it's a really beautiful friendship because and beautiful partnership because he's nasty on the back end and I'm wildly average on the front end. So it becomes this like beautiful marriage where he's still pretty cold at the front end. Like he knows his way around the front end, and I'm again wildly average on the back end. So it becomes this thing of like, you know, we meet in the middle of like, oh, okay, you could do front end work really well and somehow understand a little bit of back end and vice versa. You could do back end work phenomenally, and you know, and meet somewhere in the middle on the front end. So it just becomes this perfect kind of ground, I guess, you know. So. But let me see where I'm pulling in this project ID real quick. I think it's in the in-app layout right here. Project ID. Boom, there it is. Project store. That's where we're getting it from. I don't know if I like that, but technically there should always be the project ID. I like the context right here because it's just like if you're in the application, you basically have 100% access to that user ID. Like it's not hidden at all. It's not how do I say it? Like when you have use context data, it's as good as gold. But with the stores, you might need to fetch something from the store, and there's like a delay or something, depending on how you set up your stores. But yeah, with context, it's like it reminds me similar to like a Vue computed function where just good. It's like the data's there. Once it's there, it's there. You know, like you don't have to refetch. You don't have to worry about stuff. It's just there. So I like that, but but the good news is learning React Query because I do think that's where some of the answers will come from on the Kanban page. That's been problematic for a little bit. But I am so excited for this project management system. It's really coming together. You know, there's more users. I'm slowly interviewing for account executive position, and people are excited about it. They're asking about it. So it's really fun. It's really fun. But Chester and I were also really busy on this other product we're building. That's gonna be a good one. Very excited. Very excited to share it with you guys as well too. I hinted at it in one of the episodes. I forget which one, but yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. So let me see how to do this. Do I do console log.data? And no way. Chester just sent me an update too from that project. Let's go. He sent me a picture of something that we were working very, very for like 9 hours today straight. And I think, yeah, I think he just like finalized it. Got it there. Let's go, Chester. If you're watching this, Chester, you know exactly which moment this is. Thanks, bud. Thanks for working so hard and for the opportunity. I'm very excited. Very excited. But okay, let's zone back in real quick on this, and then I'll wrap it up here. I just want to get the notes shown here and posted here. That's literally it with TanStack queries. So what I'm going to do is check out this URL. I don't know if I'm setting this up right. I know if we did it in a store, we would be able to kind of do it how I've always done it, but we're learning right now, and this is a process with TanStack query that I am unfamiliar with. This will be new to me. So yeah, it's time to learn. Time to learn how to do some component fetching or data fetching in a server-side component and see how it goes. So what I'm gonna do is console log this, see if we're running, right? Boom, run it. And we'll say running 2. Basically, I just want to see if it gets in the try catch block, the thread of JavaScript. And if any point it stops, right? Like if we get to running 3, for instance, and then we get to running 5, but we don't see running 4, we know that this Prisma function had an error. That's how I'm breaking it down, as like each step we can literally see like where it broke. Or if we're not even getting it at running 1, we now know, okay, something's up with this. It's not firing off property. Maybe there's a use effect that needs to happen. Because that's how I'm thinking of this too, that this does need a use effect to be queried, I guess. I'm not sure, guys. This is all learning right now. So I'm gonna go to the tan stack, see how we did it here. So looks like we have this, and on use effect, no, I don't see any use effects. It just looks like it fires off, and that's that. So repo data, query key repo data, and then it looks like I get the data from data.0.project ID, but oh no, the key is just for mutating, I believe. But this part .then res.data, let's just make sure it's all set up right. So I get the project ID. Let's just make sure that's coming in. Software engineering, folks. What a fun thing to do. What a fun way to spend a life. What a beautiful way to spend a life, right? Okay, let's see. Res.data, boom. Let's see if we're getting any console logs up here. I love that out of the box tan stack query. 3 retries right out of the box. We could just put a little retry thing in there. Just starts retrying. That is so cool. Okay, so we don't have the project ID. Now we do. So that is potentially a problem. Let me throw this in ChatGPT real quick. I'll just say I am trying to query the data from React query or tan stack query, and I just want to see it in the console log. Do I need to do a use effect or anything like that? It seems like you're trying to debug your React component file of tan stack query, checking the project ID, logging. Nice. Query function, res.data. It's a good start for your debugging. However, you should also consider handling errors. Fair enough, ChatGPT. Fair enough. Console log dot error. Let's see what this error is. Okay, so, but my biggest question is, does it auto fetch like on PageLand? Obviously it does, because I don't, right? Because we didn't set anything up for tan stack. Boom. Okay, so request error with 404, bad request. So it makes me wonder if we didn't set up the Pages API correctly. So Pages API, notes. Ooh, there we go. And that'll do you, folks. And that'll do you right there. That'll do you. Gotta love it. Software engineering. It's a puzzle based on precision. Let's see if that works. So the project ID is getting fetched right now. Boom. We have no res.data because we haven't posted any notes to that endpoint. Perfect. Perfect. All right, cool. So that works. What is next? Now we got to post notes to that endpoint. So let me ask ChatGPT. I'll say, I have it working now. Can you post notes to this endpoint? And let me get the schema of what we are defining. So what the post request needs to receive. This is what the HTTP request or the payload will look like roughly. Boom. Here is the file. Okay, let ChatGPT do all the work. Why work harder, guys? Why do that? Work smarter. Work smarter. So I'm going to delete all this. Running 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't need to see it. We now know that that is working. Failed to fetch notifications. Technically, it's a note. Technically, it's a note, not a notification. Failed to post notes. So, okay, just update that while ChatGPT is doing its thing. It looks like it's posting, let's see, handle new sticky note. So I just had this function here on the front end just to temporarily show us on the DOM what it might look like with a whole bunch of them, right? It wasn't actually to keep the sticky notes there on the DOM. That's not a real data post. So we're going to get rid of that in a moment, but this is what ChatGPT has done. It has embellished upon it, which is fine because this is where the real data starts happening is axios.post down here, then set the response and set the sticky notes to such. So the other thing is we need inputs for these titles, but I'll do that in a moment. Right now we'll just say test title or tilet. That works too. And I'll just put in a bunch of random gibberish for the description. Because who has time for typing these days, right? Who does that? Sweet, guys. And the girlfriend just sent me an update on her ETA that she's on the way. So I'm going to have to wrap it up here shortly, but not right now. We need to get this done. So I posted a note. Let's see what's going on. Guys, I've just been on a mission. Let's see. Okay, so it's fetching the project ID, but I've been on a mission all day. Just like woke up, got out of bed, code, more code, right? More code. Oh, we're not going to see the data on the screen because I never instantiated anywhere. But hopefully we could see it at least in the console log after the project ID is fetched. Let's see if it pulls up notes here. I'm not seeing it. Dang it. Let me post one. Oh, there it is. Boom. There it is. It popped up, guys. Popped up just last minute like that. So failed to prop type string. Oh, it's going to be something with the sticky notes because it's obviously going to be the wrong, roughly the wrong thing potentially, right? With hrefs, and there's no href for the sticky note. There's no resource link that we posted. So let me get rid of that and let's see. Oh, and I need to add a created app, but we'll just remove it for now. Oh, I didn't want to do a mobile view. And let's see what we get. Let me get rid of these other sticky notes. I don't want to see them up front. These ones right here. Let's see if it'll fetch. Did it not fetch? It didn't fetch the sticky note. But there should be one in the database. Yeah, it's right there. Title, test tilet, and the description is right there. So it does have a title. It does have a test. It should do the thing. App.url response ID. So it posts. Okay, I'm going to take out these other notes real quick. Let's just see what we can do. As type never. So we'll say type never and null. See if that, no. All right, we'll do the trusty old any. That always seems to solve the problem. Obviously, guys, in the app Chester and I are building, there's not a single any type. I've typed everything out, all the HTTP requests, all the hardest types, the stack navigators, and yeah, that's been a challenge. But it's to be a very quality application, and I'll do the same with this as well. Boom, there it is, folks. There it is. But I will absolutely do the same with this as well by the time I'm done with it. What I'd really like is for Prisma to provide all the types. I really would, because then it's easy peasy. I just pull the type in from Prisma. The problem I had with that is for some reason, right? So let me just show you guys an example. If I just say notes from Prisma, from Prisma client, it'll literally be the exact type that we need for notes. And that's just perfect because then you don't have to even question the type. Like if you're, well, hold on, it's throwing an error now, inconveniently, right? But, oh, it's notes. That's why. So you just pull the type in, right, directly from Prisma. That is your contract, basically. It's your contract, your table, and your instance of your database all in one go. It's actually a really powerful system. But the problem I was having is for some reason it wasn't liking it when I deployed it on AWS or Vercel. It was like not really enjoying it. But that would be ideal, right? So then I now know it's a note type right here. Boom, it's already type annotated for me. I know exactly what I'm posting. I know exactly what's being used in state. I know, all of it, right? So as note, or I guess I would do it where I could do this as a partial note or payload here, right? So now I know my payload is type safe when I'm sending to the backend. But yeah, like I mentioned, it for whatever reason, Vercel was not liking Prisma. So I'll have to look into it. It might be something simple I'm doing wrong. But I just wanted to show that I'm not like a reckless, just like put an any type anywhere. But obviously I'm not going to, while I'm, kind of in prototyping mode, POC mode of just seeing how TanStack works, I'm not going to stress over types, right? I just want to see the data fetching. I know I can integrate types later. It's more important I can get the data here first and also the reactivity. I think that's really important too. So what I want to do now is build a folder called Note. And this is going to be a Note ID, guys, and I'll wrap this up here right after this because I'm very, very, very excited to see what my dear friend Chester has texted me. I'm very excited, and I do need to wrap it up to also pack. So, but what I want to do, I'll put for now. I'm really not going to have a put function for notes. I don't think they're that special, but I do need a delete function, and this delete function, I guess I could keep it in the same project ID, but I'll just delete just the note based on the note ID. So what I need to do is pass in a note, and each note that is ever existed will have a unique ID associated to it. And the unique ID is what we're going to use if we go to right here. Oh, I need to rename that in the other file, Collins note. Actually, really don't even need to do that. It's just await prisma.notes.delete. And where do I delete it? It'll say right here, ID, note ID. Boom. So each note that is ever created is going to have a unique ID. And we're just going to pass that unique ID to this endpoint. And that endpoint is going to delete every note. And that works because every single note created is a unique piece of data, right? If we only made notes associated to projects or something, then I don't think that would work. But it does work because the notes each have a unique ID. So it works great. All right, so boom, that's up to date. That's good to go. Now let's go to the base sticky notes. All I now need to do is do a delete sticky. So I'll say function delete. Oh, not function delete sticky note, right? And this will take a note ID, which again, if we have the right types, I would say partial, and it would be a notes part of a note or something like that. But for right now, I'll just say string. That's fine. And I'll say axios.delete, and the endpoint is going to be almost identical to this. Almost identical, folks. Almost identical. Technically, we could also pass the delete into the body, but I did it the way I did it, so it is what it is. And boom, node ID, just like that. So that should work for deleting the function. And I could even do an async and await. And I'm so curious on how React Query is going to handle this. So I'm kind of excited, a little bit excited. I'm going to make it really ugly right now. So let's just make a div that says delete, not directory div. Say delete, and I'll say class name And hold on, we'll go background red, 500. It'll be padding 4, rounded MD. Guys, obviously I'll make this more proper and fit in. It'll be like a little X or something. But for right now, this is everything I need. So I'll say on click, delete sticky note. But it's not just any sticky note. It's the sticky note with the ID. Boom. So let's go ahead and fetch those notes now. Let's see if we can make this work. And then let me just copy this into ChatGPT real quick and say, does this work with TanStack query while that's fetching data? Let's see if that works. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, it had an error. Both ChatGPT and the project had an error, but let's see. So it should fetch. Where's the notes? Come on. I'm not seeing the notes, guys. This delete function work with TanStack. Boom. Could not parse your authentication token. Why, ChatGPT? Why are you doing this right now, folks? Or why are you doing this to us folks, Chat? Come on. Come on. I just want to see those notes again. And let's see. So data, boom. And boom, there's some notes. Okay, so, but it doesn't look like it's updating the DOM after it's mounted. I wonder why that is. So I see the notes here, right? Here's 3 of them, all unique IDs, as anticipated, as constructed. And yeah, all associated to the right project. That's amazing. And with the description that we just hard coded in there, obviously I'll change to have inputs in a moment. Not the biggest priority, not a huge deal to do, but the data stuff is a lot more of a bigger priority. So that is the goal. That is the goal right here. So I want to try this one more time. It's not that many lines of code, 83 lines of code. Will this work with TanStack? Boom. Let's see. And I don't know why it's not showing the notes. So if I come back to this page, so I'm going to go to the About page. I need to fix something about this application because it's taking a long time to navigate and load, and just data-wise, it feels kind of, I lightened it up there for a bit and then it feels clunky, right? And I don't like that feeling. I like that lightweight feeling on applications where it's like super snappy. Another good check is taking the bottom corner and seeing how fast you can resize the window. As you can see, there's not good resizing there. But maybe I have an application I could show that's maybe off the fly. Let me think of one. So we actually decommissioned this application, but the front end is still up, just all blank right now. But here's a good example of like the corner test is what I call it. Maybe I have some other, let me think of one. Lodo, this is the exact one I was thinking of. Perfect. And this one should have the corner test. Guys, obviously it's a little laggy too, just with all the screen recording. But this one, when all the stuff's off, when it's not screen recording, Logic's not recording, it's like super snappy. And that's what you want. That's really what you want in an application is something that's just like really lightweight feeling. So let's see. Boom, delete. But these notes all exist in the database. Why are they not being fetched on load? Is that just a simple thing? So on click, I'm also not seeing these get deleted. Active scale, transition. Oh, did I already do all that? Nice. Okay. I did not see those. Oh, this is not what we want right here. Oh, duh, we want it on the delete thing. Okay, so boom, let me go up here and boom. So now we can see us delete them, like actually click them, or should be able to. Once the DOM updates, give it a moment. Oh, guys, the girl's here. All right, I gotta wrap. But guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for 500. See you soon. Bye.